to the Monday Mentorship Academy in the area of financial and career series. I have my host, Sandra. Are you there? Okay. Today we are delighted to have you join us once again as we continue learning and growing together through the wheel of life. Remember, we talked about the wheel of life being the different areas of our lives that we need to manage very well in order to contribute or live a balanced and a successful life. We have various aspects of the wheel of life, like physical and health, family and home, social and culture, education, or financial and career, and spiritual and ethical. So today we are looking at, again, the area of the wheel of life, which is financial and career. And this session comes at an important time as we reflect on the 100 days of national productivity and mindset change. This is a privilege for me to be on this show this morning as well, because I'm supporting my friend, Mrs. Dr. Sylvia Mwanza, whom we popularly call Sunshine. She was appointed as an ambassador for national productivity. This is huge. And so in line with promoting the 100 days of national productivity, we have decided to dedicate every Monday towards the area of financial and career series in order to see how we can use this area to make us more productive and contribute, therefore, not only to our personal productivity, but to the productivity of the nation as a whole. So our topic today is, it was circulated as the power of savings. I made a mistake there. It's supposed to be the art of savings. So you can change that to the art of savings. So our topic is the art of savings under the theme budgeting, or savings rather, for productivity. So developing the art of saving is one of the most important skills anyone can develop. It can help us manage our resources wisely. It can help us plan for the future, create financial stability. It actually offers security and builds financial stability, and therefore creating opportunity to support our short and long-term goals. So today I'm here to present to you the topic of the art of savings. Bear in mind that talking about finances can never be exhaustive. It all depends on how you approach it and how much time you have and the kind of audience that are listening to you. So this presentation on the art of savings, I want to disclaim, is that it's non-exhaustive and non-conclusive. I'm just giving you highlights. So my intention is to sensitize you enough to encourage you to continue looking into the area of saving. If you're already saving, to actually continue saving and improve upon your saving skills. And if you have never thought about saving, this can probe you to start saving so that you join all of us that are in the habit of saving. So save to the point where savings becomes a habit. And the habit is something that you do regularly. Now, it's easy for us to carry bad habits, but let's carry good habits. And savings is one of those that I consider a good habit to engage yourself in. So living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, living on the edge are often phrases that we use as a joke in conversations. This means that all you work for is consumed, leaving absolutely nothing for incidentals, emergencies, and the future. And so what you now focus on is waiting for the next paycheck. And if you reach a point such as that, you find that the days seem to be dragging. You don't seem to get anywhere. By the time month end comes, you're already stressed. Not having any savings in your bank account can cause significant stress, which can only lead to a host of problems. I think you all know that. We've been there. Problems such as depression, anxiety, weight gain or weight loss. It's funny in Zambia when people meet you and you put on weight and they don't even know the cause of why you're putting on weight. They all say, hey, you look good now, winner. And there you are saying, thank you. But you know that that weight gain maybe is as a result of stress. And what is there to thank somebody that you have stress? Is that they're identifying the stress in your life. So be real to yourself. So there are other problems that you can host in your body because of stress related to not having managed your finances well. This is strained relationships in marriages, in families, parents, children. The children may have done nothing and there you are lashing at them, all because you're stressed out. Insomnia, you find your sleepless nights. Substance use, some resort to all sorts of substances in order to suppress their stress, or even heart disease. So I'm appealing to you younger folks who are listening to this show. I know there are quite a number. Thank you for those of you who have really, really followed us on this show. And I encourage you to continue sharing the link to as many people as you possibly can reach. And we shall add you to a group where you should be getting your links periodically and directly yourselves from the studio. So thank you, young people. And I would like to encourage you to start thinking about this matter of savings while you're still young. And for us older folks, if you already are in a financial mess due to your past inconsistencies or your current situation, just know these three things. One, that you can get out of the situation. Two, that you are not alone. Three, that you definitely need help. And that help should come now. I always like to use the phrase my husband shared with me, the next best opportunity is now. And those of you who bank with FNB, they have a theme they've been carrying through on their branded t-shirts. It reads, next is now. So we can apply this to every aspect. I'm applying it now to my savings, the art of savings. So the next best opportunity for you to start saving is now. So this year has just begun. We are in March, almost coming to the end of the first quarter. It's still not too late to make certain changes to your 2026 financial goals. So do not carry your money burdens alone. You know that sometimes we struggle because we think we cannot do it on our own. I'm a strong believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, and I know that with Christ, all things are possible. Commit this challenge that you have to the Lord, and the Lord will help you through. So I would like to look at the topic of art of savings under 5 headings this morning. And this is, what does it mean to save? What does the Bible say about saving? Setting smarter goals, key benefits of saving money, and general tips on savings. So what does it mean to save? Like I said, saving is an art. It's an art. It's something that you have to do, to create, to build. It's an art of setting aside a portion of your money for future use instead of spending all of it on consumption. So setting aside, putting in place matters that will help you, strategies that will help you set aside that portion of your money. Now, when you set it aside, ensure that you set it aside in a safe and secure place. I've met people who say, I save money on my Airtel or my mobile money, MTN. That's not a safe place because it's so easily accessible and you're always transacting on that platform. And so it may not be the best choice of a saving place. And also, you're saving for the future uses. What are possible future uses? Possible future uses are things like emergencies. You may not know when you fall sick. You may not know when you're hit with a family funeral. You may not know when you need to travel, emergency, because the family member needs your time or attention. Or when you're planning for large purchases, which you can't afford from your monthly salary, you need to plan to save for those, etc., etc. We'll touch some of that later. So I've come up with the savings equation, which is an economic equation. Those of you who studied economics, you'll find this equation interesting. Its saving is equal to disposable income minus consumption. So disposable income is not your gross salary, because your gross salary will be subjected to tax and other deductions, maybe advances you've received and stuff like that. So disposable income is that income that now hits your bank accounts every month and ready to be disposed of. So that disposable income, you subtract your consumption, and then it gives you with savings. So this implies that if you need to save, you need to avoid certain things or certain habits, and to avoid your consumption of all your disposable income, and therefore leaving you with nothing. So you need to learn certain habits that will help you build your savings. One of them is reduce on your current spendings or spending on unnecessary things. It may mean living within your means. Do not compete with your neighbors, because your neighbor has this and that, and you feel you should also have this and that. You are not your neighbor. You do not know what your neighbor's disposable income is. Avoid impulse buying. Impulse buying is where you just go. I talked about this when we talked about budgeting last week, Monday. Those of you who were not here can actually follow through our recording. And we did mention something to this effect. Chimbwe no plan. You just go in a store, just go shopping. You don't even know what you're looking for. And you're looking at the neighbor next to you with a trolley filling it up, and you just join them and start filling up your trolley as well. Tachakamoneke Wino, at me, the director does not have a full basket. That's not right. It requires a deliberate and consistent move. And avoid procrastinating. I'll start next month. I'll start next year. I'll start now. Like I said, the best next opportunity is now. So the art of savings is focusing only on savings. There's this notion people have thinking savings is the same as investments. By the way, savings is not investments. I'll just give you a slight difference here, a definition of the two. We'll look at investments again as a topic on this show. So please stay in tune, and we shall tackle the issue of investments later. We can't start investing before we start savings. So savings, these are funds that you set aside for short-term, medium-term emergencies, characterized by low risk because you put the money in a safe place, high liquidity, it's easily accessible, you can get it anytime you need it, and fixed or low returns. Now, the bank does not issue or give high interest rates on savings, so the returns are low. So savings are funds set aside for short-term and emergencies, characterized by low risk, high liquidity, and fixed and low returns. Investments, on the other hand, are funds placed into assets like stocks. Those of you who are trading, you have stock shops that you're selling stock items, be it clothing, be it groceries, be whatever. And real estate. You put money in a building which you intend to rent out over time once it's done, aiming for long-term growth. So you put this money hoping and aiming that it can grow. Therefore, you are carrying high risk because you don't know what the outcome will be. Maybe your stocks may not sell as fast as you thought they would. Maybe your rental income may not be as much as you thought they would. There's maybe more houses available for rent, and therefore the projected rental income is not realized. However, if you do get returns, they tend to be higher than on savings. So there's these two separation. One is short-term, one is long-term, low risk, high risk, and so on and so forth. And so for those of you who are Bible readers, Bible believers, my second topic subheading is, what does the Bible say about savings? There are several verses in the Bible that talk about saving money and that teach us how to manage money. It's a biblical thing because we are, in God's eyes, stewards of what God has entrusted us to take care of. And similar with budgets, we talked about that. So in Genesis chapter 41, verse 34 to 36, there's a verse that talks about planning for your future. The food shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine, and are to occur in the land of Egypt, so that the land may not perish through famine. So you keep reserves. They were told to keep reserves for 7 years. Now, that's a lot of food. That's a long time, storing food for 7 years. And that's what we're talking about, saving for the future. I'll refer to one more verse, which I did last week, Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 8. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise without having any chief officer or a ruler. She prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in the harvest. So the ant builds up. If you watch little Tunyelele, as they pile up their food, they'll pick a little bit of food at a time and walk all the way to go and pile up and pile up and pile up. That is the art of savings. Even a Kanyelele can save. And last week we said the Kanyelele can plan. So there are many verses, like I said, I'm not going to refer to most of them. I'll leave you to search. You can use your Google search for verses that talk about savings, and you see what the Bible has to say about savings. Suffice to say, we are stewards of what God has entrusted us with, and money is one of those things. And so let's be very, very prudent in how we manage our money. The third one is setting smarter goals. I like this one. In management, most of us who've done management courses have learned about setting SMART goals. Now, in the mindset change process, we talk about smarter goals. We've added an ER. So establish your specific and achievable smarter savings goals. This is the first step in any successful savings plan. You have to have a purpose why you are saving. What is your goal? Clearly define your objective on why you want to save. This will help you to stay focused and help you to stay motivated. So smarter goals are goals that are specific, very specific. I want to set up an emergency fund. That's specific. I want to build up an education fund. That's specific. I want to build a house. That is specific. Measurable. A fund, an emergency fund that I want to set up is equivalent to 3 to 6 months of my current monthly income. That is measurable. Your salary is 10,000, 3 times 10,000. I want an emergency fund for 30,000 kwacha. It should be attainable because your salary is currently 15,000 per month, or maybe let's not go too high. It's 10,000 per month. And you want to save, say, 2,000 per month. So you cannot possibly set up a goal to save 100,000 in 3 months because it's not attainable. Your salary will not allow you to do that, even if you saved all of it. So attainable means within your means. And it has to be realistic, which is similar to attainable. It has to be realistic, something that you know is real. You can't start thinking of saving $1 million when you don't even earn 10,000 per month. $1 million in 3 months, I mean. It's possible to attain $1 million, but not in 3 months. So it's not realistic. And it has to be time bound. You have to have a specific time within which you're working. So you have to specify, I need to build a house within the next 3 years. I would like to build an education fund and go to school within the next 2 years. And it has to be exciting, something that you really are passionate about. You have to make it exciting and interesting. Otherwise, it will be a strain, like you'll be dragging your feet doing it. But if it's exciting, yes, I want to get my master's so I can look for a better job, a higher paying job, and therefore meet my financial goals and other goals in life. And the R is the risk and review. So any venture has a risk. You have to look at what are the possible risks that I can face in this setting up of my goal or achieving my goal, and trying to find ways of mitigating those risks. And also review. If you start saving, you need to start reviewing periodically to see how am I faring in my savings scheme. Am I working towards meeting my goals or not? Basically, meaning defining what you are saving for and see how you are working towards that. So make your goals very smart and smarter. One of the things you should also start preparing for is retirement. It can make it your goal. You may be very young, but just bear in mind, one day you shall be old and retire. Some of us are now in retirement age, and thankfully for some of us, we have actually prepared for our retirement. And I know there are some friends who are still struggling in this area. Excuse me, my battery is about to die. I need to just reconnect as I'm talking. I truly, truly beg your pardon. At least I got a signal. Oh, I didn't turn on my battery, my switch when I was charging my battery last night. I beg your pardon. So now let us look at the next topic, which is the key benefits of savings. So there are benefits to savings. When you start your art of savings, you're doing it for a particular purpose. So what are the benefits that you're going to derive when you save? One of them is security, another is freedom, another is growth. Security. What do I mean by security? Security means you feel very, very comfortable and secure because you know you have a buffer account where you have put in money. And like I said earlier on, this will reduce your stress levels, knowing that you have money that is saved in order to remove pressure. It will improve your mental well-being and your relationship. Stress can lead to a host of problems, like we said. So if you manage your savings very well, all these problems related to stress may be remote for you. And you will have an emergency fund, a fund you can call upon when you have a breakdown, say your car is broken down, or you have a funeral, or you have a contribution to make towards a certain cause. You don't stress like many people are waiting for paycheck and borrowing at high interest rates. And freedom. Freedom is very, very important for our lives. So when you have a savings account, it avoids or reduces the temptation to borrow. So you are free because you need enough money. You have enough money that you have saved that you can use for your purposes. It also gives you freedom in financial independence and financial freedom. There's a difference between these two, which we'll look at on another Monday. Financial freedom and financial independence, basically meaning you are free to spend as much as you need to when you really need to. That's financial freedom. Your bank account is there, it's hefty, money that you have saved. And so if you need to leave a job suddenly because of serious frustration, you're not going to stress because you have money to see you through the next so many months without a job. And if you want to start a business, you have enough money at least to get yourself started with a small capital that you need. And you have freedom to achieve your goals. You can achieve your goals because you have saved money directed towards specific goals that you have set. And growth means you can build up your savings over time. As you're saving, your savings are growing. You can compound your growth because you can earn interest in those savings. I like to talk about the 3 M's. When you make money, you need to manage it and you need to multiply it. That's the growth. So 3 M's: make, manage, and multiply your money. And then lastly, we have the general tips that I've lined up that will help you in your habit of savings. It will help you build your art of savings. 1, be diligent and intentional. Savings will not just happen by accident. It will not happen by overnight prayers. It will not just happen by going to the mountains to pray. You have to be intentional and deliberate about it. One thing you could do is go to your bank, set up an automated plan, ask the bank to remove a certain amount every month and direct it to a particular bank account. You don't even have to think about it. When your salary hits your account, immediately it's transferred to that savings account. You could start with a savings challenge. A savings challenge is where you start with a small amount because you may be freaking out on how much should I save. Put a small amount, maybe start with 100 kwacha this month, 200 kwacha next month, 300 kwacha the following month. Keep going until you reach a point where you feel, oh, now my salary is getting a little stretched out. Maybe that's your level of saving that you should mark time on and continue saving at that level. I'm just using small amounts just to give you the idea. You could start with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, And when you reach an ouch, that is now where you stop and consistently save 3,000 per month. Last time I talked about the 20% rule. There are some people who can go straight to the 20% rule. If you find it's too high, start with 10% and then graduate to 20% and see how you feel about it. And the second tip is be consistent. So one, you're intentional. The other one, you're consistent. Stay patient and committed. Do it regularly. Don't even skip 1 month. Even in those months when you have challenges, do not skip. Just go ahead and save. See how you can adjust elsewhere in order to accommodate those challenges. Fight the discouragement of not saving because you think you can't afford it. Remember, little becomes much. Over time, it becomes much. So that's one tip. Second point on my tips, be consistent and stay patient and committed. Patient because it takes a while to build a 6 month savings account, emergency fund can take a while. It calls for patience. Create a budget. We talked about budgeting last week, so create a budget. This is very, very important. And in your budget has to be a component of savings, and savings will fall under the should do's. Remember, we have must do's, should do's, and could do's. Should do's because it's something you have to do, but the amount can be flexed. So it's you to determine how much you need to save. Reduce on your overall spending. Evaluate and see what expenses you can cut down without significantly impacting the quality of your life. For instance, maybe buying takeout fast foods. It won't change your quality of life. If anything, it will improve your quality of life because now you're going to be eating healthy. Cut down on certain treats for a while, not permanently, for a while. These will add up over time. There's a verse in the Bible, Isaiah 55 verse 2, which says, why do you spend for that which is not bread and your labor for that which does not satisfy? In other words, why do you direct your money to things that are not necessary? So assess what are the things that are not necessary in your life and cut them out. Avoid impulse buying, like I talked about earlier on, and reduce on certain costs. How do you reduce on costs? For instance, I don't know if some of you have noticed, those of us who use mobile Airtel money, Airtel phones. The minutes that you use on your Airtel, if you buy like for 1 month, it looks like it's economical, but I don't know what's going on. You find that it's not lasting as long as it should last. So somebody told me that I should be buying small chunks of Airtel money. That will help me. So I've started buying 10 kwacha per day. And I find myself, I'm saving more money than when I buy 200 kwacha per month. So look at some of the saving schemes, even bank charges. If you withdraw regularly, you are charged per withdrawal. So why not withdraw one time and plan for your money, put it in envelopes and target it to what it is targeted for? Prioritize debt repayment elimination. Do not defer paying your debts. Prioritize debt repayments and debt elimination. Nkongole is not good. It just stresses you. It's something that should be a must. It should do. You have to pay off your debts. And review your savings plan regularly and periodically to see whether you are still on course and see what areas have affected your savings that have deterred you from meeting your goals and address those as soon as possible. And be financially smart. One of the things to be financially smart is what you're doing right now, listening to talks about finances. Educate yourself financially. Stay well informed about personal financial management and general investment opportunities. Attend financial literacy sessions, workshops, and seminars. Talk to people that have seemingly done well and that are doing well in the area of managing finances, or even seek financial advice from your financial advisor, which can be the bank or whatever it may be. So as we continue looking at this area of savings, I would like to really, really encourage you that savings will lead us into productivity. So as we continue to reflect on the 100-day national productivity period and mindset change, and today being the 19th day, it is important to recognize that productivity is not only about how we work, it is also about how we manage our resources that are available to us. So savings can help you build up your money account or bank account to reduce stress and therefore make you more productive. So you'll be focusing more on your productive priorities. It can also help you allocate your resources towards very good causes like education and skills development, business and income generating activities, investments that support long-term goals. Thank you so much. My last word to you all, I've run out of time, is save paycheck to paycheck instead of only spending paycheck to paycheck. By doing this, you shall remain strong financially and pave the way for a secure and a prosperous future. Remember, you're at a Y junction. The decision you make about how you spend your next kwacha will either lead you towards financial freedom or financial poverty. Which one will you choose? I'll choose financial freedom. So go with the why that you're going to spend your money or manage your money in a better way. Thank you and have a wonderful day. God bless you all.